On July 3rd, we went in for an appointment for our soon-to-be son, Micah, and we found out he has been diagnosed with what's called hypoplastic left heart syndrome, HLHS. Basically, what that means is the left side of his heart didn't develop properly and it won't function properly, and that he's going to need a series of open heart surgeries after he's born. We've never really had to deal with news like that before, so we were obviously pretty devastated. You don't really get time to prepare for a medical emergency. So this was we're kind of in this weird, surreal middle stage before all this stuff happens.
So Micah's due November 26th, and because of his condition, we're going to have to deliver at Gainesville and at Shands Hospital because of the surgeries that he's going to have to undergo. And so we'll be going up there a couple weeks early before then, just in case I were to go into early labor. So that'll be the beginning of November.
Right.
And we're just going to be there just in case, go to those last minute appointments and then deliver around 39 weeks. And so within a week of his birth, he will have his first surgery, which is called the Norwood, which is a pretty intense first surgery, as well as like the recovery time. Our hope is that we'll only be there about 4 to 6 weeks with recovery at the hospital, and that's all if all goes well.
Right.
And then we'll be coming back here, and then that's when things get crazy.
Well, yeah, coming back here, they're going to apparently train us on this equipment that we'll need to use, and we'll have like an iPad where we have this checklist, and we have to check. Apparently, everybody tells us, the nurses and other parents that we've met, that between this first and second surgery is this very delicate period, that any little illness is like a life-threatening thing, and so even the doctor told us we should be prepared to fly him over to Gainesville at a moment's notice. So that's obviously, we're very nervous about all of that. So, and that's a 4 to 6 month period that anything like that can happen. But when we get to that second surgery, assuming all goes well, apparently that's where everything starts to level off, and we can get to a little bit of a normalcy, and everything. He kind of, we'll have obviously doctor's appointments, but everything will level off a lot, and we can kind of relax. And Melanie will be able to get back to her job because she will obviously have had to quit. She can't bring home the illnesses from the children of being a teacher. So
when Micah's about 3 to 5 years old, will be his hopefully final surgery, which is called the Fontan. This is also supposed to be a really successful surgery where he will be, once again, a little more active and be able to kind of finally do normal things.
Right. Contact sports will always be a thing and things like that. But truth be told, these surgeries have only been around since 1981. So the oldest survivors are in their late 30s, and from what all we've heard, it's highly likely that Micah will eventually need a heart transplant. So obviously this is a really big deal, and we're all pretty nervous.
Right, and so a lot of people have asked us how they can help, and we want people to know that, of course, number one, we need their prayers, because we're terrified. We know what to expect, but at the same time, we don't know what to expect, because every HLHS baby is different, and he could be born and there might be something else that we find and all that. And so number one is just for God to give us strength before all this, for the anticipation of his arrival. And then of course, just that interstage time between surgery 1 and 2 that I would say probably we're the most scared of. And of course, just people being able to
support us, just support. And that's just by talking to us. We're not afraid to talk about it. And then, and listen, I'm the most uncomfortable talking about this because I've never had to ask for charity, but this is obviously going to be pretty expensive for us. There's basically 3 big things, and the first thing is medically. We have insurance, but we're basically, open heart surgery, we're maxing out our out-of-pocket maximum, which is about like $9,000 a year. So, that for at least 3 years. So it adds up pretty quickly. And then we got to stay in Gainesville for 2 months probably. So we got to find somewhere to stay. And then you obviously have to stop working for 8 months. So
Right.
we're missing a lot of, and we're not asking and we're not expecting anything at all, but we are saying we just wanted you to hear it from us. Like, this is where we are and this is how you can help.
And of course,
Yeah, and then we got to deal with with how we're going to deal with Chandler. So, but you know what? We got a really good support system. We got my parents and her parents and all of our friends and family. Everybody's been nothing but great. So we're very optimistic about the future, but we're obviously very nervous. So that's us. Micah's heart story.